Hey everybody, and welcome back to my bad hair day. So here's the sitch, right? I'm in quarantine, and I have to cut my own hair. So I've been cutting my own hair this whole time. We have some super special fun juice. I hope you've got some because, oh boy, with the book we are going to be talking about today, you're going to need it. So today we are going to be discussing a book that I cannot even begin to say the plot of. So right off the bat, I'm going to just say it now. This is going to be filled with spoilers from start to finish. I can't even say the plot of this book. I need you to go in completely fresh. This is my second Peter Swanson book. The first one being The Kind Worth Killing, which I loved. I gave 5 stars to. And I did like this one a lot. I liked it so much that I finished this entire book in one sitting. I could not put this book down at any point because it was just so compulsively readable. This one was a trip and a half and another half trip. I think that makes 2 full trips. I don't know how to do math. Numbers aren't my thing. If you don't want to get spoiled, go. But if you want to stay for one sip, because for some reason you clicked on a drunk spoiler review of a book you haven't read, then I'm going to do one with you now. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. It's pink. It looks a bit yellow in my ring light. This is some pink super special fun juice. Yes, it is. Okay, hi. I think I went in too deep too fast. I'm already losing it. But anywho, let's start talking about Peter Swanson's latest Every Vow You Fucking Break. You know, this book has been getting a lot of mixed reactions. I can understand. It's very wild. I have a lot of things to say, and we are just going to begin. Okay. The main bitch in this book is named Abigail, who I'm just going to call Abby from now on, because I don't have time to pronounce that extra syllable. Alright? Okay. So what skills does our girl Abby bring to the table? Okay. Her favorite movie as a kid was The Ring. Not Lord of the Rings, but The Ring. The scary one. Because she's one of those not like other girls bitches, you know? And they don't specify whether or not she watched the Japanese Ring or the American remake with Naomi Watts, which apparently has a sequel. Because I guess Peter Swanson wanted to keep... Is it Swanson or Swanson? I guess he wanted to keep us on our toes. Whether or not she watched the Japanese one or the American remake would just... I mean, it would say a lot about her. It could either mean one of 2 things, right? She's either a cultured connoisseur of international cinema or a bimbo. I don't know if I can say what this is, but it's not entirely juice. Let's just put it that way. Given the decisions she makes in this book, I'm sure we can guess which one she is, okay? I'm just gonna put that out there. Thus, I'm sure we can infer which version of The Ring she watched, okay? So that's some stuff about her. So can we talk about the walking red flag? Love interest, Bruce. He literally decided to be her sugar daddy and pay for like all her shit and college fees after one date. And it wasn't even a date. She's just like minding her own shit in a coffee shop, and he suddenly walks up and is like, "Hi, random girl." Because that happens to people, other people, clearly not me. I'm not bitter. And he's like, "May I please take care of all of your problems? I'm super rich and I'm too good to be true, but your parents are gonna love me, and money, money, money." Did I mention that we learned that he's a filthy rich guy that has his own money? It's just so sweet. It's like something you'd see on Netflix. You know, those true crime documentaries where the person ends up dead? So Abby decides that she finds Bruce to be really enticing because she thought that he was a player but turned out to be innocent or had an innocent face. I don't know how the line goes. I probably didn't type it right. Okay, you don't get to live in New York and get that rich doing so while maintaining your innocence, okay? So that would be red flag number 1. But then she actually tries to reject him, and he says, "Look, I give money to charities all the time." And then pretty much on the same date, he's like, "I feel that you are my purpose for living. You must marry me." And I'm like, what the f***? So then Bruce proposes, naturally, and our resident genius, Abby over here, despite knowing nothing about Bruce, is like, "Yes, Bruce." Okay, fine. They go on dates, and she has this whole thing about how he was so rich that whenever she would take him out on like freaking normal restaurants, he'd be like, "Oh, it's my first time eating in a place like this." He clearly sounds like the most down-to-earth guy you could ever imagine. With somebody like this, you start to think what Abby really saw in him, if you know what I mean. So I bet this really boosted Abigail's confidence. And she was like, if somebody as boring and underdeveloped as me can snag a rich guy and be his purpose for living, I can have anyone. All these assortments of men. It's like picking out a donut in a donut shop. Now, I need to go on an unrelated rant. The other day, my sister asked me this question. She asked me, what flavored donut do you want? Because, like, she was ordering donuts or some shit like that. And that question triggered an existential crisis in me, as you can imagine. It had me thinking, donuts. Chocolate, vanilla, strawberry.
Wait.
Those are milkshakes. So, do donuts have flavors? I'm gonna put this down, because this did not influence my question being asked right now, because I'm genuinely curious. I know I sound so dumb. And I probably should not be putting this on the internet, but I'm seriously trying to level with our girl Abigail over here. I remember going to the donut shop as a kid and picking out donuts based on what they looked like. Since I was a flamboyant homosexual as a child, I was like, I want the pink one with the nuts. I mean, it tasted like shit, but I was like, oh, look how cute it is. I'm sure you can imagine how popular this made me in the playground, which is not at all in any way, shape, or form. In short, my thought process was dumb. Like Abigail. Her newfound confidence led her to cheat on Bruce, the rich man who's paying for all her shit, and the honeymoon on her bachelorette weekend. Here's when shit starts to hit the fan, okay? Because she and the guy she cheats with swap fake names. He names her Madeline, and she names him Scotty, referring to the film Vertigo, the Hitchcock film. So then they get married, and for their honeymoon, she and Bruce go off to this lovely private island. But when she gets there, she realizes that there is a no phone, no internet, no gadgets policy. We are to be in nature in this 5-star resort. Connect with nature and the world. Very new age kind of shit, you know. They decided to stay in this resort that Bruce apparently knows the owner of. I swear, when we get there, all Abby thinks about is like sex and how fancy the resort is. I'm pretty sure her love languages are physical touch and money. Here's when more shit gets flinged at the fan and then spatters on all the walls. Someone pukes, okay, because things go down badly. Because she discovers that Scotty is on the same island as them. Uh-oh. And that when she tries to ask for him at the front desk to identify his real name, he apparently told them his name was Scotty. So, now most people would be thinking, oh shit, she's in danger. I was like, this lucky bitch. Look, level with me, bear with me over here. It's just that not all of us are lucky to have obsessively stalking men pursuing us whilst we are at 5-star resorts. That does not sound like a bad idea. I'm sorry, if you people think that this is me being very toxic, I'm just trying to be very honest with you. I don't think that I would complain if this was happening to me. Okay? I'm sorry, it doesn't sound like my idea of a bad time. The rest of us normal people have to make like fucking dating apps. I've tried making profiles for these things, and you have to like show a picture of your face, and it's like, do I really want to be honest? Because I don't look like the pictures I post in real life. Even right now, talking to you, I don't know if I can show the label, but I have concealer all over my face because I struggle with acne, but I don't actually look like this. You have to put a picture, and then you have to put in your hobbies. Like, that shit matters to our fucking society. So I'm like, okay, reading. And the second I put reading into my hobbies, I know I'm like, this is why I'm on BookTube. Because I like to read books and talk about them, and most people in my life don't. And I'm sobering up, so I'm just gonna take a sip of this super special fun juice. Actually, you know, I'm gonna go for a refill. Okay, I'm back. Anywho, I drank half the glass on the way up. Because priorities, and I think I'm breaking out into hives, so I'm gonna just hide myself. I'm getting hungry, I want my dinner. So this is why I had to outsource my time and find friends on the internet. Shout out to you guys, love you guys. So I skipped putting reading, and instead I put jogging. I mean, I normally don't because I hate cardio. I prefer to just go to spin class. But I do run away whenever a guy requires me to be emotionally vulnerable and make eye contact. So Scotty is stalking her on the island, and then he confronts her, and then he's like, it's the best sex, and your soul went into mine, or some shit like that. Pretty much verbatim, honestly, if we're quoting. I'll try to find the line and put it over here. And then he basically tells Abigail that she has to sleep with him one more time, and then he'll leave her alone to prove that they didn't actually have things going on with their souls interchanging and stuff like that. So shit really starts to get interesting when Abby realizes that there are not enough people on the island for this to be a viable business, so things are starting to look really sketchy. Also, the island is overstaffed, and the only women on the island are Abigail and a girl named Jill. Besides them, it's a bunch of men. So Abigail finds a phone on the island, and she calls her friend Zoe from back home to investigate this guy named Scott. She does, and she finds out that this guy named Scott was actually a guy named Eric, and that Eric had apparently been married to a woman named Madeline, and that she drowned. So at this point, I was predicting that Jill and everybody on the island were paid actors, getting Abigail to confess on cheating on Bruce. And lo and behold, I was half right. Because in actuality, the main plot twist was that Eric, Bruce, and Chip, they were all in cahoots from the beginning, and that they are part of this, like, men's rights movement, this cult of misogynists, and that Bruce apparently hired Eric to seduce Abigail and try to sleep with her to see if she would cheat, thus justifying the psychological torment they impose on her in this island. Bruce is like, oh, you cheated? Well, I have a psychological woman torturing club. And Abigail's like, okay, I did something really bad cheating on you, but way to take the heat off me, Bruce. And so basically when Abby finds out about what's happening in the island, he basically kidnaps her, drugs her, and then she wakes up in this room with Jill, and then they take her to this fire pit, and then they basically have this, like, they pose as prosecutors prosecuting these women for being whores and stuff like that. And then they proceed to psychologically torment them with, like, fake knives and stuff. When he was using the fake knife on Abigail, I was biting my nails. I was biting my nails. Until one of them accidentally kills Jill, which wasn't supposed to happen, I believe. Like, you think that they were on this island to kill the women, but apparently they would just psychologically torment them. So yeah, this story was hella juicy. And basically it ends with Abigail managing to kill Bruce by stabbing him. And then she gets to escape the island on a dinghy. She gets back home. She finds the police. She tells the police and lives her life thriving and hopefully making better decisions this time. If this book has a sequel, like Return to Bruce Island, I would read that shit so freaking fast. So this was my review of Peter Swanson's Every Vow You Break. If you were drinking super special fun juice on the side watching me, let me know down below what you were drinking.
Hey everybody, this is future McKay, currently editing outdoors. I am earthing, as you can see, wearing the same shirt I wore to record this video. Anyway, I'm just coming in to say that if you enjoyed this, I have other drunken reviews that I'm going to link down below, so just check the description in case you read these books. You might want to see these videos too. So yeah.
Also, let me know what you'd like me to cover next, if there are any upcoming thrillers or fantasy or whatever kinds. Actually, no matter what the genre is, if you want me to be here and rant and bitch to you guys, let me know what book. Comment section is yours. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Like and comment and subscribe if you have not already. Share this video with your friends. Follow me on Bookstagram at McKay's Bookstagram over here, this page over here. I hope to see you in future videos, but until then, cheers and take care.
I lose myself in this city.